for Grabs, a podcast where three unfiltered friends talk about anything and everything. And now, here are your hosts, Tracy, Kim, and Rachel.
Welcome to Up for Grabs. I'm Rachel. Happy New Year. I'm here with my friends Tracy.
Hello.
And Kim.
Hello.
And we are excited to start a new year, a new season of Up for Grabs. But Kim thought it would be a good idea, and I agree that we should bury 2022, so to say.
Yeah.
Recap it, what was good, what was bad, what we learned, maybe some, I don't like to call them resolutions because
I don't either.
I have never kept a resolution, New Year's resolution before. So
You mean like me, I'm going to exercise every day and eat well?
I've said that for 50 years.
Fingers crossed.
And it's still not happening. So we're going to just call them goals. Let's just maybe throw out, and I think it's important to throw out the goals because if you don't know my goals, then you can't hold me accountable. And that's exactly what I
like
want.
to keep mine secret so that I'm not held accountable.
Yeah. So when when I totally don't do them, it's only me.
Yeah. I don't have to explain it to anybody but myself.
No, but we're going to put it out there. We're going to make it so we can bother each other.
That's weird.
And is it weird to have accountability?
Yes. To me it is.
Okay.
I prefer not, but go on.
It's a whole new year. New year, new you, new accountability. Well, I do think it is healthy to look back on the year to see what you liked and what you didn't. Kim, what did you, when you were looking back at 2022, what were some of your highlights?
All in all, 2022 was a good year. You know, we were, I think, kind of finally escaping the lockdown of COVID. Things were open, things were moving around. We were unmasking.
We were, but do you feel like, because it's not really over.
No, I mean, it's always going to be there, I think, to some point. I mean, I think that through my family, we did quite a few COVID tests through the year. Every time you have a sniffle, you're scared that you're going to be spreading it to someone. So knock on wood, we all were good all year.
I feel like maybe Thanksgiving and Christmas last year were super spreaders for our family. Like everyone got COVID last Christmas. So I'm just hoping I haven't gotten a call from a cousin saying, hey, FYI, just tested, that thing where we're suddenly all sick. So maybe as the years go by, we'll get a little bit less.
Yeah, I just feel like that we were creeping back into maybe a little more normalcy. You could find things in the grocery store, just things like that. I mean, not anything that,
I kind of forget about COVID times, if that makes any sense.
Well, it feels like it was so forever ago.
Yeah, it does. That's what I mean. The fact that
you blocking it out,
we were in the house for an extended period of time. All that seems so not real that I don't kind of remember it.
It does also seem really long ago, and it was only 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago.
So it does seem weird. Forever ago.
Okay, you're right. It was weird.
Yeah.
We're all not okay about this, and we're just...
Yeah, and we're going along like nothing ever happened. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Get on with your lives.
I'm fine.
I do have new habits, though, better habits. Like I always have a bottle of wet wipes or the antibacterial in my car. Every time I'm done with the grocery store, I wipe my hands off and wipe my steering wheel off. I mean, it's ingrained in me now. I don't know. I just do it.
We were a dirty bunch prior to this.
I mean, yeah. And I think that I'm way more conscious of after I pump gas, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's really helping me or not. But if anything, it's maybe keeping other germs away from me.
True.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I hear
think
people
I'm
are like, oh, I guess no one gets the flu anymore. Well, yeah, we don't get it as much because we're covering our mouths when we cough and we're washing crap off.
Yeah.
So there is a lower incident of other things.
Don't you remember, before COVID, you would see people on the news and it would be smog related issues, but people in China would be wearing masks and we're like, what losers? Why are they walking around
Asia's
outside
always been a step ahead
wearing a mask?
The irony that it started there, though. I mean, that's weird, but they always have masked. I
will mask now if I know that I'm sick. That's common courtesy. But it wasn't before, but it should have been.
No, it really is. It definitely
should have been. So I will.
Yeah, it's not taboo. It doesn't look weird anymore to have a mask on.
No.
So
I agree.
Well, good.
Yeah, we I went to, I have to go back here. I guess big concert this year. I took my girls to New York City to see Harry Styles
Harry.
at Madison Square Garden. That was probably,
That's a highlight.
as ridiculous as that sounds, as far as emphasis on like, I don't know. That really was the highlight of my year.
Yeah.
It really was, just to make those memories with my girls and just to do something completely outside of the box.
Yes.
Just be like, you know what? We're doing it. We're going and we're doing it and doing it. So it was fun. But yeah,
The three of us went to Nashville.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Very fun.
Was that last year?
It was this year. Yes, this past year.
That seems like forever ago, and it wasn't at all. I went to Vegas for my daughter's 21st. It was a good year.
Yeah, you really got around, didn't you?
I did. Towards the end of the year, I did. Yeah.
Kim always gets around.
That's what they say. Tracy, what about you? What were some of the highlights?
Well, I'm going to hit some with my kids, but Sammy, it seems to be hitting her groove a little bit, and that makes me happy. Getting more involved in things here in Indiana. Zach has awesome grades at IU. He joined Dance Marathon. He's kind of finding a group of people.
Yep.
Finding where he fits, always good. My Alex graduated, got into PA school, and those are huge things. More importantly, she has relaxed a little bit. And for me, that's a bigger deal than the other two. And she's just allowing herself to have a little bit more fun. And that I like to see. So those are the big things. My dogs are still cute. I'm still here. That's what I got.
For some reason, when I was thinking of highlights of 2022, the first thing that I thought of was Wordle.
Oh yeah, that was
That
a
you
big
did
thing.
well, or what?
Just that it exists now.
I love Wordle. My kids and I do it. We have a group message of Wordle, and we send it every day.
But wasn't it? It came out last year, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Well, it's like now part of my daily routine.
I don't do Wordle because I get frustrated thinking quickly. Like I don't know.
You don't have to think quickly.
I get mad at it. I get mad at overthinking. Maddie and Joe, my husband and my daughter, that's part of their daily routine as well.
Remind me when we're off of here to tell you Zach's starting word. I'm not going to do it on
Joe's
the air,
is ridiculous. His is ado.
Well, that's mine.
That doesn't surprise me. And he will not stray from it.
No, because there's a lot of vowels.
Yeah.
You got to get the vowels or you will never figure out the word.
Mine weirdly changes every day.
Maddie's
based
changes.
on something I see or think, and I feel like it's intuitive. And most of the time, I solve it in 3 words.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Well,
With
you're
my
something.
intuitive.
And there's
starting
all different
words.
takes on Wordle as well. There's Mary, my daughter, who's an NBA lover. There's Purtle. That's the last name of an NBA player.
Yeah.
And it's guessing an NBA player every day. Ridiculous. But her and Joe do that every day. Joe and Maddie came upon one recently that like you rank things and like popularity. It may be like the best soccer player in the world or the richest person in the world. Or I think it might be called Frackle. I don't know. They found one that they love.
I've not heard of that.
Anyways, yeah, you're right. That was that took over the world this year.
Well, the Wordle I do every day and the Quordle.
What's Quordle?
So Quordle is you're trying to figure out 4 different Wordles in 9 guesses.
Okay, Joe has tried that a few times.
And just to let you know, if I don't get it, it ruins my day. And right now I had to walk away from it today.
Okay.
If anyone out there knows what today's one of the words is, it has a bunch of vowels and an S, and I can't figure out what it is, and I had to walk away because I will not give up.
You're no quitter.
I have to think about it.
I wanted to pray about it.
Pray
and
on
see
it.
Yeah, just to see if it came to me, but it has not come to me yet. But yeah, for some reason, I determine whether my day is going to be good or bad based on how quickly I can get
How quick
both
your brain
puzzles.
As you should.
Yes.
That is funny.
Yes, I wrote down for highlights just our girls trip. Girls trips are good.
Yes.
We need to think about trying to do another one this coming year sometime.
Okay.
I don't know where we'll go or what we'll do, but that's part of the fun.
Say less.
Oh,
That won't be a productive podcast, though, if you say less. So
that's
go on.
true. That's true. Highlights for me, for some reason, I also went to like shows that I watched. Ted Lasso was a highlight for me for 2022.
yeah.
He made me happy.
I love him.
You know how we talked about those Little People, RuPaul Little People that I was
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Loving.
Your favorite things. Yeah.
I saw.
There's Ted Lasso people.
And Golden Girls. Like, why do I now think I have to collect Little People? I'm not going to, but I kind of want to. But why? I don't need collection.
There was also
of
The
anything.
Office, and those were cute too.
They're adorable.
Ted Lasso. I'm liking that.
Yeah. So but it came with like 5 different people. I would be happy just to get Ted, like put him on my desk,
Right.
just to be upbeat.
It's probably like $12 for the whole set. Go ahead. You can give away the others.
I can't.
Okay.
Although Roy Kent would be fun to have too. When I'm in a
Yes.
bad mood, I
Yes.
could just like walk him around,
Just say bad words.
just telling people to f off.
Speaking of Zach and I, you have to check out TikTok. Zach and Lillian and I made a TikTok of his
sweet Jesus.
RuPaul people dancing yesterday in preparation of Drag Race.
Okay.
Starting this week.
Oh, yes. It does start this week.
It's
Yes,
ridiculous.
that's one of the highlights of 2023 will be RuPaul's Drag Race
Yep.
starting this Friday.
Yeah.
I will watch only because Lil watches.
Anything you can do to connect with your kids, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, we've
So,
established that we watched Dancing with the Stars as a family this past season, and we established, even my husband, we're all on board. We are doing Drag Race.
I love
We-
that.
Yep, we're going to watch it as a family.
Well, Swiffer. That's what I know.
Easy.
I can't wait. Can't wait to have a new catchphrase.
Yes.
I feel like we did that as a family during COVID when we couldn't go anywhere.
yeah.
For some reason, and we've never watched it since, but for some reason, The Voice started during COVID, and I've never ever watched The Voice, but since we couldn't go anywhere and everyone was just sitting here, we all watched it as
It's
a family.
kind of interactive.
well,
Like,
You
At
really
first it
get
was just a-
invested.
well,
you get
it was
invested
just
in the people.
just to waste time, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Pfft, well, John Legend isn't a good coach. Like suddenly you have like really.
Oh, I got
Yes.
very invested in Dancing with the Stars. And I've watched it before, but never from beginning to end. And I always just kind of mocked it, thought, oh, they find all these B-list people. I fell in love with like half the cast. I mean, it was good.
yeah.
It was a good
you
season.
You see a part of them. They'll
Yeah.
highlight a part of their story that
Yes.
you never hear, and you're like, then you're rooting for them.
No, I know.
When
It
you
was
would have
really
kicked them
good.
to the curb an hour
Although
before.
I feel like this past season of Dancing with the Stars, I only knew 2 of the stars. Like more
they're
than
reaching. They're reaching a
You
little
would have
bit.
known
they're reaching for
more.
the stars.
Yeah. Keep reaching for the stars. Was that
Casey Kasem.
okay? Thank you.
Keep your head in the cloud. No, feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
I think that was
wasn't that
it.
Casey.
I think so.
All right.
Countdown, top 40
God, I loved him.
on Sundays when I was supposed to be in church.
Loved
What?
him.
Were you one of the people that would just go get a bulletin and say, I went?
1,010%. We
Well,
would
if you
go
have
through the
XM, you can still
McDonald's.
listen
We
to
go to
them.
McDonald's, listen to top 40, and then go get a bulletin and go home. You're welcome.
Was there a book of 2022 that you would recommend?
I don't think that I read anything I didn't read that many books that knocked my socks off, but
Midnight Library was a big one that we really
shoot,
liked.
I
that
forgot
one.
about
That was at the very beginning. So that
That was the very
January.
beginning. That
Yeah.
was okay. That
That one
yes,
was
that
good.
one knocked my socks
Interesting.
off. I
Yeah.
did like that. Yes.
Did you read anything that other than that you thought was
I bought some other books that I didn't read. Does that count?
only if I asked you what books did you buy that you would recommend but you haven't read?
The one, what's her name?
The Colleen Hoover?
Nope, self-help lady that I love her book. It's so
Brene Brown.
Brene Brown. I have good intentions of reading
it?
Of reading it.
Okay. Well,
And it's beautiful
well,
physically.
let me know if you get around to
Okay.
reading it. I read the Lincoln Highway. That's one
That is-
knocked
I've
my
heard
socks off.
good things, yeah.
That's good. I would suggest so. Yeah, so that was my 2022. I did go. I think you're right, Kim. You think of places that you've been. Like when I was pressed, like what was great about 2022? It was really top of mind was that I went places with people that I like.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to focus more on that
Yes.
for 2023.
Good stinking.
Wow.
Sorry.
You okay?
I didn't call you poopy at the end of it. Okay, go on.
What about setbacks or difficulties for 2022? Was there anything that
Absolutely none. Smooth sailing the whole way.
10 out of 10?
10 out of 10 would recommend.
What you got?
Nothing.
Everything went super great.
Yeah.
Okay. Kim?
I mean, there were some. I struggle with anxiety and health anxiety. I think that I had a couple months there that were pretty. I think that navigating your children through mental health
Yes.
issues. I think that not to go into in much detail, but that was some of the lower points.
Yes.
And just especially your adult children, it's just different. but you come through it. And I can say that,
Right.
yeah, we're better and we're good, but it's just,
But when you're in it,
yeah,
you don't know what to do.
no, that was probably a trying part of our year.
Yeah.
So,
You?
Me, probably, my biggest trial was, I don't know if you guys knew this, but my mom moved in with us
Really? I
this
didn't know.
year. Yeah. And it's not that my mom moved in that was the big deal. It was the moving part. So this, she had one move out of her house of 30 years. That was 2 years ago. And then one move out of an apartment to here.
The temporary apartment that was 2 years ago?
Correct.
Okay.
And so that was just a whole other moving experience. I got to drive another U-Haul truck, which I vowed never to do after I did it the first time. It's been difficult.
One issue after another.
There's always something. In fact, as you girls saw today, it's still going on.
Yeah.
And they finally started doing work in April, and it's still has issues outstanding, and we're in January of 2023.
beautiful world of construction.
Fun.
I'm out. So, so the transition of just going through her stuff and physically moving her stuff and then removing it and then waiting for her place to be built and then dealing with every last problem and decision. Finally, I hope 2023 will be, she's in, everything's fine.
It's settled.
And now
Yeah.
she can just focus on getting used to being on the south side, finding some people to hang out with.
She's
whole
going today to get her haircut. So
she
that's
is.
good.
That's here we go. It's a good way to start the year. So no, she's fine, but just the whole I'd never been involved with any sort of construction project, and I hope to never be involved in one ever again.
Yeah.
So that was my 2022.
Nice.
That's still going on. Did you guys have any opportunity to make any sort of goals for 2023?
I kind of did you told me to pick a word.
I did say that. Yeah, I wanted each of us to pick a word that would kind of be our mantra for the year of 2023.
So I picked a word, and it kind of is in response, but not really, to the last question. And then it goes into the other part.
Oh,
so
boy, that was confusing.
I know. So my word is true, and I'll just read what I wrote down at the time. Which I have a habit of saying what I think people want to hear. I'm pretty sure I'm a liar.
You are.
Yeah, I know. Not sure who I'm true to, because I want everything to be okay with everyone, or at least not be my fault if it's not okay. So that's true is my goal word. I don't know who I'm expecting to be true to, if it's myself or other people or the tax man. Just kidding. I pay my taxes.
Oh my God.
I don't know who, but that was the word that came to mind.
So I think it would definitely have to start with you, right?
Probably. I know the truth. It's not like I'm lying to myself. Like, I know everything. In my mind, I'm very clear on what the truth is. It's just whether or not I put it forward.
Okay, so you're saying you're very aware of what the truth is.
Yes.
Do you lie to yourself about it and try to just kind of pretend
Maybe.
that things aren't?
Yeah.
Because you want to please
Yes.
instead of being
Yes.
a little bit of tough love, maybe.
Yeah. Everything is easier that way. And I'm trying to, the path of least resistance, I guess.
So you're trying to take the path of more resistance this year by being truer.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what it is. So that could be it.
Okay.
So true is my word.
Well, I
don't
like
know.
that.
It's kind of vague. I get that it's vague.
It
You know,
is vague,
It would
but
be easier if it
it's
were
not
something.
really. I mean, you could really delve into the meaning behind
for sure.
that.
And part of it, and I will say, you guys know that my cousin passed away this week, and that was my one word for him. If I had to pick one word, and so then I thought about it, and I thought, why don't if that mattered to you so much, then use it for yourself. Like, one word to describe him would be true.
Yeah.
And I think he was very true to who he was his whole life. He was true to people. Like, some people would tell you he could be a jerk. That wasn't really his intent. He was just very truthful on things. Hard worker. Everything was just very true. And I can't think of a better way to describe him. So
Don't you find when you come across people that are outspoken and not in a jackass way,
Right.
but that are outspoken, sometimes it takes you back a little bit if somebody calls you out on something or somebody, but then you can say back, like, I really appreciate that they're that way, because that's a true person.
Yes.
Somebody that's not going to BS you with all the things that you want to hear. Those are the best kind of people.
You need at least one or two in your life
Yeah.
that are going to be a straight shooter. And
Yeah.
I think that's what he was. So,
Well-
that's where I'm going with that.
I look forward to hearing A, the lies you're telling yourself, and B, you telling yourself to stop lying and be true.
I just pictured me arguing with myself
Me too.
publicly. That's cute. Super cute image.
So Tracy's going to be true.
Okay, that's my word.
I love it. Kim, you
Okay.
got a word?
Well, I do. And I kind of cheated because I followed somebody on Facebook, and it's not like a friend. It's like just like a page or whatever you want to call it. And she was saying that her word was intentional. And I told Maddie, my daughter, last night, she goes, you can't pick somebody else's word, but I Googled last night intentional and what it means to be intentional. And it made me think deeper into it. Like, most people go about their day getting up in the morning, and it's the same routine every day. I mean, mine is anyways. I get up, I don't think I vary from my day very much from day to day. And
I do the wordle and the quordle.
you just go through the flipping
No,
motions.
you're right.
And sometimes you do things that you don't realize, like the first thing in the morning that you probably should not do is scroll through social media, because it sets the tone of your day. Whether you think about it or not, you might see something on there that makes you jealous. You might make something on there that makes you like whatever, or read a story about some stupid celebrity. And it's just it's nonsense in your brain going on. So I was I screenshotted like what being intentional is. I mean, there were so many different things, but very much all the same. So there were 8 things that you can say that you're going to be intentional is tuning out the noise, like the news, the internet, all that, identifying your values, setting a morning intention, which I thought, what a better way to wake up and just set a morning intention instead of grabbing my phone and getting on Facebook. And because that's normally what I do. I don't have my readers on, I'm sorry. Refocus, create small shifts, create a vision board, which I've always kind of poo-pooed, and I've always kind of like thought, what do I have as a vision board? I clean houses for a living and I don't do anything important. Well, that's not necessarily true. And then give yourself a break. As far as, and I'm good at giving myself a break. I do love my naps, and I like to vacation, and I like to do, but I'm not intentional with my way in living. And I think that probably is part of where my anxiety comes from and my fear of things come from, because I hold back on living out of fear.
Yeah.
Like I'm the type of person that's always looking over my shoulder, and I feed into things I see on the news and things I see on the internet and things, and then those just little shifts, just maybe reading more and tuning out things more.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up setting like a daily intention, because that's one of the things that I put on my list of things to do, because I felt very much the way you did, that I have these ingrained daily habits of things that aren't important.
Yeah.
That waste a bunch of time. It's like what I do to keep me from doing what I really should be doing that I'm afraid to do. So I keep the same stupid daily habits
Yeah.
and they're not serving me. And I
I feel like you were really intentional this year, though. Like, I don't know, Kim, do you agree that I feel like she went on these conferences, and I just feel like you did some stuff this year that you never did before, like
Stepping outside of
I don't even
yeah.
know the quality. I know there was some quality, but I'm just saying quantity. You did more than normal.
Well, thank you. But those are 2 things out of 365 days. So my usual routine
No,
Yeah.
you also wrote.
was not dynamic. I'll tell you that. It was,
Mine is mind numbing.
Yeah.
And that gets depressing. I mean, and it's not because I'm not taking enough time in my day to set aside, this is what I'm grateful for, like journaling or meditating or I don't know, just sitting in quiet for 10
Right.
minutes. I don't think that people realize how much of our world is just habit, and it's such negativity.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really watch the news anymore, but you're on your phone, you're going to see the news.
Yeah.
I mean, I love true crime. I don't know if that's the most healthy thing
Probably not.
for me to be watching before I go to bed. I mindlessly, although it's a form of entertainment, I probably overwatch shows
Right.
because I've got too much time on my hands. I need to just fill it with more intentional things. And not to say that, yes, it's okay to scroll through Facebook. It's okay to like,
But not all day.
but to be conscious of what purpose is it serving in your life?
And I think also the being intentional for me kind of also would be the same as saying be more balanced.
Yes.
Because like you said, a little bit of Facebook every day, great. That's why it's there. Was its intent probably wasn't for someone to sit all day and refresh their feed to see if something happened, because guess what? Nothing did. But just make my day more balanced. Do that, and just kind of divide up my day and be conscious and intentional about how I spend my time during my day. Because usually I wouldn't plan anything
Right.
and just kind of let the day unfold, and all of a sudden it'd be over and I had done absolutely nothing. So I get the intentional.
Yeah, it's shifting your focus from the yeah. And it's just like and I've learned through the years, it's not like everybody like, oh, I'm going to lose weight or I'm going to exercise, and they jump in and you're just set yourself up for a disaster. It's like baby steps. I mean, it's just, I saw when I was looking online, like I hit images on being intentional, and there's like a 30-day intentional calendar. And I mean, they are minute, mundane things, but every day it's something. Go outside, take a 10-minute walk, journal, eat, make yourself a plate of fruit and vegetables, like intentionally doing something that nourishes you or whatever. But I'm like, I'm going to print off a few of those calendars and because they're nothing that's going to take more than 10 minutes of your time.
Right.
But it creates a different habit.
Yes.
And it creates your mind to like work in a different way. And how can that not help your anxiety? How can that not help you being depressed? I mean, it's,
Well, I like that very much. One of the intentions, so I just started this year. And like you said, it's just the small things. Like I think one of my intentions, like I knew like we were going to get together with family. And usually that causes anxiety for me for no real reason. I love my family. They're fine. It's like nothing bad happens, but I don't know, just something about getting together with a big group of people kind of makes me anxious. And one of my intentions was I'm going to go to this gathering and I'm going to make sure to have one meaningful conversation with one person. Like usually I would just go around and say, hey, and just kind of, and then float around and like not really
talk to anyone, even though you spoke to everyone.
I was there, but I wasn't there.
and like really listen to what they have to say. Like
So I
look them in the eyes and talk.
Yes. So instead of saying I was going to do that for everyone, which would have overwhelmed me and made me just sit and do what I always do, my intention was when I woke up, when I go to this gathering, I'm going to really talk, ask questions to at least one cousin. And that was doable, and it should have been what I was doing to begin with.
But I think everyone does that. Like people talk about their own wedding reception and they're like, I didn't talk to anyone,
No, because you're just going by and just chat
through it. Yeah.
So yes, I like your intentions.
Well, thanks.
Good job.
Thanks.
Share, and you need
even though I stole it from somebody, but I was meant to see that yesterday. I was meant to see like, okay,
you don't have to come up with your very own.
Yeah,
there's no unique intention.
No.
But yes.
So,
well, I like that.
Thanks.
Start the day. The other thing that along those lines that I decided to do, and I haven't done it yet, so don't think that it's a big deal. Because then now that I'm saying it, now I have to.
It's already the 5th of the year,
yeah,
so
I haven't done
you're
it
behind.
yet. But you talked about just having like 5 minutes quiet time or whatever. I've decided I am going to go back and one time a week go to Adoration, because Adoration was one place and time that I remember when I did it. It was kind of a pain to get like in the groove of adding it to your schedule. But once I did, I looked forward to that time.
Because it's a peaceful hour of quiet.
And I used to think, what on earth would an hour? What? That's too long.
Yeah.
No, it's like a good practice to try to sit there for an hour and just be
be
there.
still. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm saying it out loud so you guys can ask me if I've been yet.
Okay.
But I'm trying to do that once a week,
Okay.
just for an hour.
One thing that this year that I kind of forgot to mention that I'm trying to do, which I don't know why that made me think of it, is trying a no buy year. One, because I'm poor, but to not buy things. So like no new purses.
Like no
which
nonsense.
I'm going to say, I didn't think about this at the time. Kim has a new Gucci purse and I'm
Oh
just
my
throwing it
God,
out there.
Stop it.
I'm giving Joe a shout out on his Christmas gift
Oh, he did
because
do
Kim
good.
is fancy. So if you see her walking around town in her sweatpants, in her Gucci purse, it is real and cute. And she's wearing it. Okay. So anyway, sorry, Kim. But like I literally have probably 20 purses and they're not nice. You know, some are fake, whatever, but they hold the things that they are meant to hold.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try not to buy any for a year.
Okay.
No new shoes unless they are my flip-flops that I wear all the time and wear out. But like I have shoes.
I know. I love shoes.
This one is going to be tough.
But that would be very tough for me.
No new lip balms.
Oh, I don't buy lip balm.
Or products like that. Like I have a bathroom full, partially because of Samantha Murphy Brown. I have a bathroom full of products that you use and then you're like, I don't love it, or here's something else. And I've said this, we've actually been doing it for like 2 months, where I'm like, no, we're using all of that bottle of shampoo and then we're getting another half bottle from out of under the sink and we're using that. Like we are not buying anything until these things are gone.
I like that.
I have an embarrassing amount. Like I have one of those things in my shower that hold things.
Yes.
Because Maddie's like, what is the matter with you? Scrubs, anything that smells good.
Samantha?
Anything. But I will tell you, being a cleaning lady, it's because we have an industry of that's
It's in our face 24/7.
And I'm telling you, it's very rare that I clean somebody's shower that they do not have 50 products of something.
So I am
Yeah.
set on using all of them. One thing that I really want to do, but I'm scared to do, is to pour all of the shampoos into one bottle, or at least like all that can fit. But I know that I shouldn't
Time out.
combine
You're
them.
mixing brands?
I'm not, but I want to clear out
can't
the
you?
clutter. I don't know. It seems wrong.
It's
I mean,
all-
you probably can.
I don't
because
really feel like it's chemistry, but like,
No.
what if there's an explosion? I don't know. But that is one of the things, is no new products like that.
God, that would be really hard for me.
I know.
But you would save a lot of money.
or like just everything that I own, like consumable things.
I know.
Trying to use all of those before getting another. So just because I use all of my Burt's Bees doesn't mean I can go buy another or whatever. I have to use all of the lip products before buying new lip products.
I
Things like
love
that.
this.
I mean, that really...
And I don't know. I mean,
I wouldn't say that I go out there and frivolously buy. I am not I will shop at Walmart. I could care less.
Oh, me too.
But
Yeah,
the
these aren't
amount
expensive
of
things.
nonsense that I buy
yes.
or order is silly.
Yeah. I mean, we have a stack of those face masks that come in little
Oh, heck,
packages.
yes.
Why? I don't know. I don't even know who bought them. It wasn't me. It was some of my children. But like to make your face softer or whatever. I don't know what they're supposed to do.
Oh, I think you meant like a mask, like to wear out because you were sick.
Well, no, you know that's when when COVID first hit, since I'll throw back to COVID. And I said, if you see any face masks, get them, because there are, they came back and they were like, oh my God, we found at Target. It had like these honey exfoliating face masks. I don't know, but it was good for a laugh. But that may be where these came from now that I'm saying it. But so just to use everything that's there.
Yeah. That is a really good idea.
And like, I have like some like a light therapy thing that I bought for one of my kids when they were having skin issues a couple years ago. I started using that every morning for like 10 minutes. I don't even know what it does, but it's already been paid for and it's sitting there in my home.
Might as well use it.
Therefore, I'm using it. I'm using everything that I can find that has a use.
Well, I like that. I'm guilty of, for some reason, if I want to reward myself for doing something that I should have been doing anyway, a lip balm is something I go to.
Yes.
Or like a new, like,
You do like your lip balm.
like an Elf product. It's $3. It's a new gloss. It's a color.
I know.
I have $3 myself to death.
yeah. And think about that.
If I go to TJ Maxx
Oh, I
and I
know.
look at their clearance hair care products,
I know.
let me tell you, I do not have hair of a,
But you're like, do you know how much this
don't
would
know
be
what-
in the beauty
Yes.
supply? I know.
and I'm like, that is not even for your hair type, ma'am. Don't care. I'm getting it, and
It's
I'm
easy.
using it.
It's a good deal.
It is a good deal. It is. I couldn't walk past it. So therefore, that's
That's
the
also,
plan.
I really think that using what you have, what you're saying, is also a part of being intentional.
I was just going to say
Yeah.
that. That's very intentional.
I'm being true to the products that I've already purchased.
I'm so proud
I'm
of
making
you.
that work. So anyway,
Well, we
that's-
will check in on that because I think I might do that without even realizing it. Like,
I
buy
think
little
you
stupid
definitely
stuff.
do that without
Yes.
realizing it. Everybody's got their thing that they like love to hoard on,
Yeah.
or love to try a different variety or different smell or
Yes.
different. Everybody does.
You called me a whore. I'm like, wait,
we
what?
did.
Whore on.
That's the next podcast.
How not to be a whore.
Yes.
I'll end with my word. It's going to be the same word that I did last year, but it's a good one because you said that I did do things in 2022. Like you felt like I put myself out there. That's good. But my word last year, and it's going to be this year, is persist because I still have the terrible habit of giving up. When
Quitter.
I'm a quitter when
Sorry.
things get hard. No, I really am.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I am too.
I'm out.
time to quit. Why would you quit when things are going well?
Yeah, so I need to persist. I need to keep up what I'm doing, keep putting myself out
persist
there.
is a great word.
So I just need to keep doing it because I'm a quitter. I'm totally a quitter.
All right, congrats.
Well, I hope we gave people some ideas to be more intentional and true to themselves and persist and
Well, we'll check in with each other every couple podcasts.
Yeah.
And then we'll also be thinking about where we want to go for our girls' trip.
definitely.
Someone would like to sponsor.
If someone would like,
We'll podcast the whole time.
From there.
we'll tag at Marriott Hotels and see if anybody will put us up for a while. The last thing I wanted to jump into, Tracy, there was a true crime story that's in the news right now that somehow suddenly has a tie to Indiana, and I wanted you just to comment on that.
It's being referred to as the Idaho murders, but it was 4 students who were brutally murdered in their home.
College
Campus, which, we all have kids and that age, and it's a horrible thought, a horrible feeling. And the scene is being described as like the worst crime scene ever is the people that had gone there and said that. And it doesn't make any sense because I believe, were all stabbed.
Yeah,
Like, how do
it's a very-
how do you stab 4 people? Like,
I know.
none of it makes sense. Then we were looking for a lot of answers, and it's been going on, I want to say a month and a half, maybe 6 to 8 weeks. And the Indiana tie that is current as of last night, and I don't even know how true a lot of this is, but what's coming out. So there was body cam footage that was released of 2 police officers in Indiana who stopped the person who was arrested. Eventually, he was arrested a couple days ago in Pennsylvania where he lives. But on his trip from Idaho to Pennsylvania, he was pulled over twice in Indiana. Within, I want to say, like 40 minutes, he was stopped twice. Once, I believe, by a county officer and once by a state trooper. And some people are like, why didn't they get him then? All this, did they check the car? What is being reported, again, I don't know if it's true, so I'm just passing along my non-verified information, is that supposedly the FBI had asked these law enforcement officers to get body cam footage of his hands and things. I think maybe they were waiting until they had enough solid evidence to arrest him, and maybe they were keeping an eye on him. I don't know. Maybe was there a tracker on his car? I don't know. I'm just speculating. But I find that all very interesting. And you can see in the body cam footage, they do ask questions like where it's obvious they know who he is.
Yeah.
So
Really? Like what?
I thought so. Like one was saying they brought up that he was that he went to school in Washington, whatever, and they said, "Oh, do you work there?" Like it was a weird thing. Like, do you work on the campus? Like, why would you ask that question? And he was like, "Oh, yes, I'm a what do you call it? The students who help the professor, like a TA or
TA,
something."
teacher, yeah.
He answered that, and they were just seemed very direct questions where they were looking for the answers.
When I was watching the news last night, tell me if I'm wrong, I thought, well, first of all, I thought it was creepy that his dad was with him.
I don't think his dad knew anything, unfortunately. I feel like his dad is totally innocent and because the reason I'm saying this is because I think his dad flew there to help drive the long drive back. Very, very parent, makes me sad because this also is like a 28 or 29-year-old man, 27. I don't know. He's in his late 20s.
Because he was getting his PhD, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think he could have made the trip alone, is my thought. But his dad went to help him drive back.
But the police footage, I swear, and I could get this wrong, that when the police stopped him, the dad offered out of nowhere, well, there was a mass killing there.
Yes.
And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, the college, there was a mass killing just recently. And I thought, why did he bring that up? That's so weird.
It is weird. My thought was because he was saying where they were coming from. And I think he was just like
making small talk,
small talk. Like, you're in law enforcement. I bet you've heard of this place by this.
Yeah.
I think he's stupid. Like, I think he's
weird.
ignorant. I think I don't know.
Okay.
I hope he was not. I don't think he knew anything. I really don't think. I think he was just.
Okay.
I think it was a way to make a connection with the police officer about law enforcement.
Yeah.
People get weird. I was married to a law enforcement officer for 20 some years, and I got pulled over about 6 months ago, and I immediately started crying before they ever got to the car. I've done this, but people just get weird.
Oh, you do.
Up.
Definitely. You get nervous.
It was like 10 o'clock at night. It was dark on the interstate. I thought, well, this is how I die. Like, none of it made any sense. Why I'm a 53-year-old fat mom in the car is crying. Like, I had no drugs. I wasn't drinking. Like, there was no reason for my reaction.
I just think
other than
that
people get weird.
It's just intimidating.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll just...
I don't know the whole story, and I don't like to glamorize the morbid curiosity of it all, but it is going to be very interesting to see how all these pieces, like they said they had DNA on it from a knife, and they have something with his cell phone to kind of
ping or whatever.
Yeah, like that they are pretty confident, obviously, that this is who it was.
Another thing, and I don't know if this is true, but supposedly, because when they collect DNA, they run it against what's in the system.
Oh, I think they went through his trash.
I mean, of what they have available, and that's how they catch a lot of criminals. But if you're not in the system because you haven't committed a crime, supposedly they were able to run it through a database like 23andMe or something.
Oh, with familial
and it
DNA.
Connected to a relative. So he was not in the system, but a relative was. And supposedly they contacted this person and said, do you know anyone in Idaho? And she's like, yeah, my nephew Joe Schmo lives there. And hello.
Well, that's how
you're arrested.
The cold cases and everything. That's going to be.
Is that the transcript of what went on?
I believe
hello,
Joe
Schmo.
Hello,
You're arrested.
I believe that is verbatim. Also, I have seen a side-by-side photo of him and Ted Bundy's mugshot. I don't know if they're doctored, but they look like twins, and it's super creepy.
There'll be a lot of theories too. Like, you just don't go and.
Why are you looking at me like I'm insane? I didn't make this up.
He's not Ted Bundy. What are you talking about?
But just the characteristics of, he's probably a serial killer. I mean, you just don't go randomly stab 4 people and that's your first time at it. I just don't believe
Was
that.
he on hallucinogenics?
I know.
I don't know. I
Well,
just feel like there's so much more to it.
It'll be.
And there were 2 people upstairs and got out. Like, none of it makes any sense.
And he's a criminal justice PhD student.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Who's the smartest person in the room? That guy.
Yep.
Knock,
So
knock.
he thought-
Hello.
Yeah.
You're arrested.
Ding.
That's what they said. I can't help it.
Well, we are going to keep all of you up to date on that.
we are.
'cause that-
We are not laughing because it's not funny.
No, it's
We're
not
laughing
funny.
at how
Absolutely
ridiculous
not.
we are acting
we're
like
because
done.
we
know
think
anything.
we're real sleuths out there.
they need our help.
They do.
So that's something we'll do in 2023 is probably help law enforcement do their job. It's probably what we'll do.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us on Up for Grabs today. I think what we have done is laid out a wonderful path for 2023. We're
Yes.
going to hold each other accountable. We're going to be intentional and true. We're going to persist. And we hope that you all out there have a wonderful 2023. Please come back and join us again. And if you're liking what you hear, please be sure to share Up for Grabs for everyone to see. Thank you.